Hare Krishna. You have to speak louder, please. Did I say that? Is it true? Are you asking? What I read was that it is very difficult to attain prema. But difficult means, as was pointed out, that one may remain chanting for many lifetimes and not make spiritual advancement. Because it's just like if I have an apple, I can give you an apple, I can't give you a mango. You understand? So if someone is having an apple, you know, or having a rotten banana, you know, but he doesn't have a mango, how is he going to give you a mango? In other words, if I'm not chanting the pure name, then how is anyone going to hear the pure name from my lips? That doesn't mean that because I'm not chanting the pure name, that no one's chanting the pure name. If I'm not chanting the pure name, then you can hardly expect to hear the pure name. It is the pure name which gives prema. Pure name means Nija Sarva Shaktis. All the Shaktis means Swarup Shakti, Ladini Shakti, Krishna's Antaranga Shaktis, Bhakti Shakti, Guru Shakti. All Shaktis are inclusive. So the pure name is only that pure name which is imbued with the Antaranga Shaktis of Krishna, spiritual potencies of Krishna, can ignite the fire, as we described before, dormant within the wood of the conditioned soul, the fire of prema, prema bhakti. If I cannot give you a seed, if I give you, just like if I give you a plastic mango seed, will the plastic mango seed ever give you, let's say, ever sprout and grow into a mango tree and produce mango fruits? So the semblance of Nam is not Nam. If someone is chanting the semblance of Nam, then he can help to purify the heart of the hearer of material contamination, but he cannot infuse prema, because the semblance of Nam is devoid of Krishna's Antaranga Shaktis, and the offended name is completely mundane sound vibration. So how can you give prema if someone is an offender, if someone is a Vaishnava aparadi, or if someone is prone to sense gratification, even though he may be, let's say, masquerading as a sannyasi, or you know, a guru with many disciples or followers in this way, but if there's proneness towards sense gratification, then we can hardly think that devotee is chanting the pure name. But we should be careful, you know, in our decision making. So, to finish the answer to your question, which will probably answer the question that you're just going to ask, if you have not heard the holy name from a pure devotee of Krishna, then it is highly unlikely that in this lifetime you will ascend to the terrace of prema. However, we should not neglect to observe that there isn't anyone in the society, the International Society of Krishna Consciousness and beyond for that matter, who have not heard the recorded kirtans of Srila Prabhupada. Now, some people may argue that the material machinery cannot represent the Shabda Brahman. But I say, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, all these things regain their spiritual, transcendental position. As Prabhupada mentions in the purport to that verse in the 4th chapter of Gita, he says that spirit covered by ignorance is maya or illusion, material. And matter or maya, matter which is reabsorbed as per jagya in Krishna consciousness, regains its intrinsic spiritual nature. So the tape recorder which is engaged in playing Srila Prabhupada's cassette is not a material machine. The dictaphone which was used by Srila Prabhupada to propagate Krishna consciousness as per the method of Brihad Mridanga, Brihad Kirtan, recorded kirtan in the form of his cassettes and in the form of his books, etc. These are not mundane instruments. Even the printing press, Dainapan, in Japan, their printing press, when it was being engaged in the production of Srila Prabhupada's books, it was not mundane, it was spiritual. Because it was not being used by the printer, it was being used by Srila Prabhupada. That has to be understood. It was being, the neophyte devotee, he may be a materialistic devotee. He may be bent on sense gratification of various kinds. But if he turns on the machine, it's not that he's using the machine. He is prompted by Super Soul within the heart to act as an instrument for Srila Prabhupada to do his preaching work through the medium of that machine, which is purely spiritual on account of its absorption in jogya, transcendence. He reasons ill who say that Vaishnavas die when thou art living still and sound. So how much more living still and sound can you have than hearing Srila Prabhupada's recorded kirtan? Srila Prabhupada was not chanting Shuddha Nam. He was chanting Prema Nam. So there's no question. Anyone who, just like, with all due respect to people who have different opinions, because there are people who have different opinions, but honestly speaking, I personally don't care for them and their opinions. With all due respect to them, though, I would venture to say that if Srila Prabhupada deemed it feasible to initiate me as I was initiated by Srila Prabhupada, I received the Gayatri mantras via media, the recorded cassette, into my ear. Srila Prabhupada deemed this process as a viable method of initiating his disciple or giving the diksha to his disciple. Do you mean to tell me that I have not heard that my initiation is not bona fide? Do you think that Srila Prabhupada was so less intelligent that he would have, let's say, misunderstood the matter of application of Krishna's energies in the propagation of Krishna consciousness, as to make a mistake in the matter of his initiations through the recording on the cassettes? If I'm to accept that Srila Prabhupada was correct in his understanding, which I cannot think otherwise, but if I'm to accept that, then I have to accept that my mantra diksha from Srila Prabhupada was bona fide, perfect and complete, to the extent that I was receptive, to the extent that I planted that mantra into my heart. He gave me the mantra through my ear, but it takes my willful planting also. That is receptivity of the disciple. The powerful guru and the receptive disciple, both are required. So if I'm to accept that my initiation, my mantra diksha from Srila Prabhupada is bona fide, because otherwise I have to accept it is not bona fide, which means that I have not received diksha, which means that I have to go looking here and there for someone to give me the real diksha, if I want to get diksha. Hare Krishna. But if I'm to accept that my mantra diksha is a bona fide mantra diksha, then I have to also accept that the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is being broadcast, because there's no vidhi in the matter of broadcasting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, as there is in the matter of dissemination of the Diksha mantras. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Just 1 minute. Let me finish this point, okay? And if I'm to accept that, because the hearing of the Gayatri mantra can only be from the mouth of the disciple from the mouth of the guru to the ear of the disciple. It is secretly done. It is not broadcast. Gayatri Devi curses upon anyone who will chant the Gayatri mantram, whichever Gayatris they may be, because there are different Gayatris. But she curses upon the chanter of the Gayatri mantra who does so without having received it from a bona fide disciplic guru in disciplic succession, and without blessings of that guru to perfect the chanting of the mantra. Those two things have to be there from the side of the bona fide guru, who is the initiator. The initiator has to be receiving his mantram through sampradaya, otherwise there's no fruit in the chanting of the mantra. So, and he has to give that mantra with blessings to the disciple to perfect the chanting of the mantra. If the disciple chants the Gayatri without receiving it from the disciplic guru with blessings to perfect that mantra, then the disciple goes to hell. Gayatri Devi curses such a person to go to hell. Huh? No. You didn't understand. The disciple must only chant the Gayatri mantra when he has received it through Sampradaya with the blessings of the Sampradaya. In other words, if the Guru gives the mantra through Sampradaya, naturally he's going to give blessings. Otherwise, what is the meaning of the initiation? So there are some vidhis. In the Pancharatrika system, there are some vidhis which have to be observed in the matter of dissemination of the Gayatri Mantram. But in the broadcasting of Harinam, there are no such rules and regulations. Harinam may be broadcast far and wide. That is Samkirtan. Of course, who is given the initiation into the holy name should be a proper candidate also. He should not be a cheating so-called disciple. But as far as Nam Samkirtan is concerned, Prabhupada has mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the purport to the sloka which describes the incident where Mahaprabhu instructed the disciples of the Buddhist who was offering the plate of uneatables to Mahaprabhu. And the eagle picked up the plate and dropped it on the head of the Buddhist and knocked him out. So Mahaprabhu told to the disciples of that Buddhist guru that if you will chant the Hare Krishna mantra, he gave this mantra, into the ears of your guru, then he will revive. So in this way, he initiated the disciples of the guru into the chanting of the holy name, and the disciples in turn initiated their own guru and became the guru of their guru. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions that in major cities all over the world, the devotees of ISKCON are broadcasting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra by performance of Sankirtan Yajna. Then he says, by the loud chanting, by this loud chanting of the holy name of Krishna, everyone is initiated into the chanting of the holy name. So in this way, we can understand that the mantra, the Maha Mantra, the dissemination of Maha Mantra, it may be broadcast far and wide. That's why we hear practically in every ISKCON temple, you know, Hare Krishna, bum 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 bum. You know, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. We hear Prabhupada chanting Maha Mantra, you know, and various other bhajans, etc. So if we're hearing this Maha Mantra, this is Prabhupada's broadcasting. And although there's not a formal initiation, actually Sankirtan is part of the Bhagwat system, the congregational chanting. There is no need really for any formal initiation. But everyone can advantage the pure unadulterated pramic sound vibration of Srila Prabhupada's chanting of the holy names as it has been broadcast via media, let's say, modern information retrieval systems. You understand? The same principle applies. The Bhagavad system is not a bodily affair. The dissemination of transcendental knowledge. Who does not access Rupa Goswami by reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjvala Nilamani? Who does not access the association of Raghunath Das Goswami by reading Madhurya Kadam? Is it? Yeah. Huh? Stavavali? Not Madhurya, that's Vishwanath. Who does not access Vishwanath? Who does not access Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami by reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, by reading Govinda Lilamrita, etc.? Who does not access them? It is not a bodily affair. So we should rest assured that if we have the receptivity, we're in the right place to get something solid. In spite of the fact that there may be, let's say, lesser grade association, in the fold of the devotional society. But one should understand that if we can recognize that a particular person, particular devotee is, let's say, attached to mundane aspects of the Krishna consciousness movement, or parent, external, you can say, because you can get, the Krishna consciousness movement is like a desire tree. If you want bhakti, you can get bhakti from Krishna consciousness movement. Just like people who are attached to the externals of Vrindavan, they can get bhakti from Vrindavan. If they want mukti, easily they can get mukti. You can get, if you want bhakti, you can get bhakti from associating with the Krishna consciousness movement. And those who want bhakti will associate with people who want bhakti. People who are exploiting the Krishna consciousness movement, for the purpose of various types of mundane gratifications or self-aggrandizements. If you want to associate with those kind of people, then there's probably plenty of such kinds of people to associate. So you have to seek out good association. And but my point is that if you can't find any other good association, we have good association, but you have to have the receptivity, you have to have the intelligence. You have to be essence-seeking enough. You have to be interested in giving up your own mundane, attachments, etc., to actually advantage the instructions of Srila Prabhupada in a way which is, let's say, progressive and productive of the true, goal of life.